In this video, I'm going to share with you the story of how I manifested over $12 million. And no, contrary to what the other law of attraction gurus say, I didn't sit at the top of a mountain waiting for my time to come. I didn't have a vision board. It wasn't because I read countless volumes of books about how to get rich. In fact, the strategy I learned was far more simple and a lot easier than I ever thought possible. And maybe you're a little bit like me. You know that there's countless volumes of books about how to attract wealth, the power of your subconscious mind, Think and Grow Rich, and many other books promising the easy road to wealth. But none of them seem to be working. And that's where I found myself over 20 years ago. I was broke. I was trying to start this internet business stuff. Nobody believed in me. I had a kid on the way I was responsible for. I didn't have a stable place to live, and my car cost less than the camera I'm filming on right now. I was super depressed. I didn't know what to do. I didn't know who to turn to. I read tons of books, listened to seminars and audio tapes, but nothing seemed to click. Maybe you feel the same way. Like everything you do amounts to nothing. Yet the gurus say it's easy. Just believe it and you can achieve it. And that's what I thought too, until I found this one secret hack that made me more money than I ever thought possible. And we're going to get to that in just a second. But first, a story. There I was, 20 years old, sitting in the mobile home my brother and I lived in, which basically got bulldozed a few years later and condemned. I think that's the official term. My wife had gone back up to San Francisco while she was pregnant with our firstborn, and I didn't know what to do. I was so depressed. I felt like nothing would ever work. No matter how hard I tried, I could get a little glimpse of success, but not enough to make a lasting difference. And I remember thinking, when is it my turn? When am I going to be able to get the things that I want? When am I going to be able to live a life that I actually enjoy? I mean, I saw all these other people buying things and having a good life and making all this money. Why couldn't I? Is it because I didn't attend enough seminars, read enough books, get enough courses? I mean, what was the real reason? And then it hit me like a ton of bricks. It was July 4th of the year 2000. And up until that time, I was selling websites, making $1,000 here, $3,000 there. And one website I sold, I made like $10,000, but that one took a couple of months to build. And the company paid me in installments, so I literally got like $900 a month for the entire year. Hardly what you would call rich, but I continued on anyway. And on July 4th of the year 2000, I remember making my first $21 that I didn't have to work for. I remember it like it was yesterday because it was a holiday and I wasn't working, yet I still made that $21. And most people would say, $21, what are you gonna go to Burger King? What are you gonna do? But I knew that if I could make 21, I could make 210. And if I could make 210, I could probably make 2 million. But again, this is all thoughts in my brain, dreams, ideas that nobody believed in. But I believed in it. And that is what really mattered. So I continued on looking at that idea, making money. I remember my first year I made $67,000. The second year we did $160,000, and the third year we did $300,000. And at that time, I was a 23-year-old, didn't really know what I was doing. I had 2 kids, we were living in Portland, Oregon, and I was far from rich. But I did have this one little secret that kept me going, and since I learned it, I've been able to manifest over $12 million. But not in the way you would think. No, we're talking about how to manifest in a way that actually works. And if you're excited, smash a like button. Let's jump over to the live set and talk about how you can finally start manifesting money and the life that you dream of. All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the show. Today what we're going to do is talk about the old law of attraction. We got some notes to go through. We got all kinds of things for you to talk to you about how to start making money in a real world way without all the fluff. That's right, you don't have to attend a bunch of $2,000 seminars. You don't have to walk on the coals with Tony Robbins. You don't have to buy a bunch of books. This is actually much simpler than most people make it out to be. And when I was first starting out, I remember when I was about 15 years old, my dad handed me this book. He was a big believer in Think and Grow Rich. And I thought it was an interesting book. It had some interesting stuff. And as a 15 or 16-year-old kid, some of the chapters were kind of weird. And I'm like, okay, this is kind of interesting. And I remember I grew up in the church, and in the church they said, hey, your thoughts are things. You can create your world with your thoughts. And they even said, take every thought captive, which for me with OCD was the worst thing you could possibly ever say. But I grew up with this belief that my thoughts become things, and so I thought about things and I wanted them to become reality. But nothing ever hit. I would believe things and I wouldn't achieve them. And I wondered why. Fast forward to about 20, 21 years old, about 4 years after reading this book, which I think is, I don't know, it's not my favorite anymore. It's kind of an interesting one. I don't think it's ever been my favorite. But we fast forward a little bit later in my life to about 20, and here I was trying to actually make this stuff happen, trying to actually make a living online, trying to understand exactly what's going on. And I knew all these gurus were there saying, hey, you know what, just manifest money. If you just give me $2,000, I'll teach you how to manifest money. And I didn't have $2,000 at the time, and I'm actually thankful for that because I don't think it would have helped. But what you're going to learn in this training actually will help. And I went on and I bought books from like Napoleon Hill and books from Joel Osteen, who says, hey, it's your time. It is your time. Excellent speaker, good, rah-rah stuff. But I don't know why here in America we feel like we need a cheerleader to make us feel good so we could actually achieve something. Right? Have you ever wondered that? Have you ever thought to yourself, why is it that we need people to cheer us on with these books and yell at us? Right? You look at Gary Vee and he's yelling at people all the time and they love it. I'm like, why? You're getting yelled at over and over and you're not really getting where you want to be. And then you look at like Joe Vitale, who is responsible for The Secret movie, which I think is one of the biggest atrocities known to man because it leaves out the main thing we're going to talk about here. If you really want to manifest wealth, put your vision boards away. Put your thinking hats away. Don't book your next retreat to think about money. What I'm going to teach you here is actually how to get it. Because like you, I was out there. And I was like, how do I make this stuff work? How do I go out there and make a living? How am I going to get this to happen? And I struggled really difficult with knowing what I needed to do and actually doing it, right? It was like I knew what I needed to do. I knew what was there, but I just didn't do it. And I didn't know why, right? How many of you guys are like this? You're like, I know what to do. I can start a video. I can start a blog. There's a million ways to make money online. But for some reason, I just can't get there. For some reason, I can't do it. And today, we are going to unveil that secret. There is a secret there that no one talks about. And they don't talk about it because the minute they talk about it, they can't sell books. They can't sell courses. Because you know what? It's so easy that you don't even need the power of your subconscious mind. Right? This is stuff that was basically brought up by Eddie Bernays out in the 20s or back in the 20s and his uncle, Sigmund Freud. And they said, well, it's about the power of your subconscious mind and the power of desire. The power of desire. Yet Buddha said that the root of all suffering
is desire. So wait a minute, what is true? Are these guys telling the truth, or is some guy sitting on a mountain who seems pretty calm and happy telling you the truth? So what's the deal? Should I get whatever I desire? Should I be able to manifest things with my mind? Well, you can, but it's not what you think. Like Tony says, she says, I just can't grasp it, and I don't know why. This is the video, the training you need to watch. Pay close attention, because what you're about to learn can and will change your life if you grab onto it. Now, it's not one of those things. Personally, for me, I'm 9 years sober. I was an alcoholic. Life was not good. And that was after I had made millions of dollars online. And so I went out there and I was like, well, why am I not happy? Why am I not getting what I want? Why are my thoughts not enough to get me sober? Why are my thoughts not enough to make the life that I want if thoughts are things? Well, newsflash, ladies and gentlemen. Thoughts are not things. Repeat it with me. A thought is not a thing. Now, I know you've been taught this over and over and over again, but a thought is not a thing, and here is proof. If a thought was a thing, scientists say that we have about 60,000 thoughts a day. Does that mean if I think about $1 all day, every day, tomorrow I'm going to get $60,000? I mean, after all I'm asking is $1, one little piece. Don't worry, this is prop money. One little piece. Can't I just manifest this 60,000 times a day? What gives? Well, ladies and gentlemen, thoughts are not things, and what you desire does not become reality. It's a fact. There's people that have all kinds of mindsets and all kinds of thoughts, and they're not desiring it. There are people that are in other countries that can't eat, and they think about food all day, yet there is no food. And that's because of the flaw of certain governments. But we have to look at that and say, well, that is not a thing. So once we start to understand this, and we get past the idea that we are going to think ourselves rich, then we can start to actually make a living. And if you're ready to start making a living, smash that like button. Let me know in the comment box what you think about that. And we're going to get going here in a very important thing. So we got some notes here. And this is a screenshot from yesterday from one of my accounts. I made about double that yesterday, but I didn't have time to get 2 screenshots. And we're well on our way to do about the same amount today. And, I never thought this was possible. I never thought it. And I tried to manifest and I tried to do stuff, but it wasn't until I learned this one thing that things started to change. And what we're going to do here is we are going to look at these notes, okay? First of all, the first thing we are going to look at is the secret $1 hack. Remember how I said it'd be nice to be able to manifest $1 with your mind? Well, let's talk about how that works. Now, when it comes to making money online, let's see which camera works best here. When it comes to making money or building a business, I want you to understand something very important. Let's see, we got to go right over here. There we go. I want you to understand something very important. First of all, wealth hack number 1. All right? Wealth hack number 1 is $1. If you are taking notes, I want you to write this down. I want you to write down $1. Because most people, all right, if I was to go to you in the audience and say, would you rather have $300 today or $1 a day every day forever? Most people, if you're honest, would say, you know what? I'll go to work and I'll get $300. Okay? Because it takes the same 8 hours. So I work 8 hours. So you work 8 hours today and you have a choice. You can have $1 a day every day or $300 for the 8 hours. Most people on the planet are going to take the $300 ipso facto, no questions. We know this is true because most people work a job. If you work a job, you believe this. However, I'm different. I said to myself, and it took a while to learn this. It wasn't taught in a book. It wasn't something, I learned it by accident. And so I said to myself, well, if I could take this same 8 hours, I want you to think about this, and I want you to tell me if you believe this is possible by smashing the like button and typing 300 in the box, or actually type $1 in the box. If you think it's possible, if I said, you know what, for the next 8 hours, I want you to figure out a way to get $1 a day every day. All right, you got to get it every single day. I'm sure in 8 hours, with the power of the internet, you can figure out a way to get $1 a day every day. And if you're saying, well, I don't know how that's going to work, well, let's take a look at that, okay? Let's say you were going to go out. Let's say we're just going to do like law of attraction stuff, all right? I'm not a big fan, but let's say we were going to do law of attraction, and we see here that 48,000 people, actually a total of 185,000 people, look up law of attraction every single month. That's a lot of people, right? Hopefully some of them are watching this video and learning about the law of attraction. So we're going to go through and say, okay, you got all these people looking up law of attraction. Maybe, just maybe, I could build a post about law of attraction quotes. All right, cool, excellent. So law of attraction quotes, I could build a post about it. Okay, if I don't know how to do it, I could literally go to ChatGPT and have it find me law of attraction wealth quotes. I could literally do that. I did it right here. It's very simple. So when we look at this, we're like, okay, the secret $1 hack is the fact that millions and millions of people are searching the internet. Actually, I think it's like 8 million a minute search Google or something like that. A lot of people. Some of them are typing in these law of attraction words. And you say, well, Marcus, it's competitive. Well, no, it's not. Let's do 3 competition or less. The 3 anyone can rank for, right? So now we have all these different words. So my question is, if I had a word like law of attraction when everything goes wrong, okay, that's 150 searches a month. We got some kind of planner, law of attraction tattoos, all kinds of things like that. Okay, so even with low competition, we got 18,000 searches a month. All right, so we got 18,000 searches a month for low comp, law of attraction keywords. All right, now all I got to do is come over here and say, okay, well, I can find an affiliate program, or I can put some AdSense on, or whatever. Because out of 18,000, let's say you only get 1,000 a month. All right, that means you're getting 30 people a day. Right, so out of those 30 people a day, all you would need to do is make 3 cents per person. That's it. That's all you got to do is make 3 cents per person per day off of those 30 clicks. And we lowballed it. We went for low competition, and then we took it and divided it by 18. Right? So we're like, hey, this is pretty simple. And we start to understand, okay, well, Marcus, where are you going with this, buddy? Where is this going? Well, what we're going to look at here is the fact that there's lots of stuff. Now, law of attraction isn't the only thing here. We can do gardening tips. Just watching a video yesterday about a website with gardening tips making like $8 million a year, and he started from nothing. It was a regular, simple blog. And what happens is you start to understand that it is now about this dollar, because if I could do this one thing, right, I go to ChatGPT, I get some quotes, whatever, I get my $1 a day every day. Now, what I did, if I spent 8 hours on this, is I just made more than you who went to work for $300. Why? Because $1 a day is $365 a year. If I do that every day for the entire year, 365 days times 1, let's see if we can do math, equals $365 a day, each and every day, or roughly $112,000 a year or somewhere in that neighborhood. How many of you guys are understanding, wait a minute, So you're telling me if I just was consistent, obviously, results not typical, implied, or guaranteed. The average person trying to make money online makes nothing. But I think if you understand this and you say, wait a minute, if I just spent 1 year doing something small that would make $1 a day every day, next year I'd be making like 115 grand a year without doing anything else? Yes. That is how this strategy works. And if you're excited about this, type excited in the box because we're going to talk about why this works, why it's simple to understand, and why you are not doing this. I didn't do this either. I was focused on this. I was focused on what can I make today, what sales can I get today, and I was constantly on the hamster wheel of I need more, I need to keep going, I need to keep doing. Nothing started to build up. But once I learned this secret, now I wake up and I make money without doing anything. I could literally take 6 months off and still make more than the average person makes in about 5 or 6 years, give or take. And we start to look at that, we're like, wait a minute, why? Why? Why, if this is so easy, do people not do it? Why do we need books that say we got to have manifesting, we got to have law of attraction, we got to succeed, I got to read this book? It's harder to read this book than it is to set one thing up that'll make you $1 a day every day. It's harder. I mean, people go out there, they look at this, it's just like a textbook, the laws of success, as if he's some lawyer who figured out success. Really, all he did is interview rich people. That was his claim to fame. He interviewed rich people. That's it. And this whole idea of I need to read this 900, or actually no, it's like 1,200 page book to get rich, do I really? Or can I figure out something different? So the first thing we're looking at here is, yes, I can do this. I can make something small. You could literally say, well, Marcus, I have no money. I only have a phone and internet. I don't even have a laptop, and I probably don't even speak English or whatever, right? Doesn't matter where you're at, doesn't matter who you are, doesn't matter how much money you have. You could start a Facebook group where all you do is inspire people with quotes. You want to go to Bible quotes? You go in there and you're like, okay, well, I could do Bible verse. Boom. It'll say stuff about Bible verses. You go out there and do a quote. You could do stuff about funny stuff. We have someone who was in our meme class, and this guy set up a thing. He made $50 in the last 4 days posting cat memes on Facebook. Because most of you guys are posting stuff like that for free anyway. What if you did it with Bible verse of the day? There's literally 356,000 people a month looking for Bible verse of the day. Like, you need content, go download the King James Bible, which is out of copyright, get some verses, make some cute little videos people can watch, do it every day. But the problem is, most people are waiting for inspiration and feeling. This is step number 2. You guys want to manifest money, this is the training to watch. And I want you to watch it at least 2 times, and I want you to take notes, because this is important. Number 2 is consistency. Okay, so number 1 is the secret $1 a day hack. Number 2 is consistency. All right, so here's the deal. How do you make money with a Bible verse? Excellent question. I actually had a Bible site. I think it was 2014. I made a Bible site. Made $100 its first day online. I have a video about that. We'll share with you a little bit later. So the next step is consistency. Remember how I said that most people are struggling to stay consistent? Remember that? Well, it is because they are looking at a feeling. They're waiting till they feel a certain way to motivate them to do this stuff. You know what I do? I got to tell you a little story. Let's get this stool over here, and we'll tell you a little story. All right. I've been doing this business for over 23 years. And in that time, I've had a lot of people that were really excited to come in there and into my office and learn how to do this. They get really excited. And they say, yeah, I'm going to do this. I'm in it to win it. I want to make money. And maybe you feel the same way. You're excited. Like No Code Dad says, he's excited. He can do Bible coloring books. He can do all kinds of things to make money. And these people would come into my office, and I'd sit there doing what I normally do, which is the same thing every single day. Kester says, can you make money with something controversial like politics? Yeah, Fox News and CNN do it all the time. But we look at this and we start to say, okay, this person comes into my office and they're excited about doing stuff and they see the money. And I've had people that I've taught. I had a friend I taught. He made millions of dollars because he didn't listen to what you're hearing today. He didn't continue on, and now he's bankrupt. I had another friend. He made $300,000 a year, and then he just phased out. I tried to have him work for me. He worked for me for like 3 months. He didn't do anything. He didn't do any work. He just got a paycheck and, basically took money and used my tools and stuff, and now he's in the same position he was in before. And you would think, wait a minute, well, these people are all excited, but what do they lack? They lack consistency. If you want to lose weight, change something every day. And I'm not a doctor, so talk to your doctor about losing weight. But if you want to change something, do something every day without fail. Every day without fail. If you look at it and you're like, well, you know what, I didn't get my dollar yet, keep going. Keep going. Because you know what, when you get your dollar, you'll be like, cool, I got my dollar, and now I'm making X amount, because it's going to be like a snowball. But the problem is people give up before the magic happens. That's my buddy Brian G. used to say that all the time. They give up before the magic happens. And if you do something consistently and deliberately, you're going to start to see how this stuff works. So let's go over here and show you how this works. I think, there we go. We'll get a little bit higher up. But what you're going to see here is how this works. So if we go out there and we take a look at certain things that people are doing, let's go to our dashboard here, and you can see that sites like Wikipedia, he's got a lot of traffic. How did he do it? Did he do it by making a post and that one post gets all the traffic? No, he did it with lots of posts. Here's BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed's getting 7 million keywords, almost 12 million visitors a month. How'd they do it? Did they have one product? No, they have a lot of them. Amazon, Jeff Bezos said, I'm going to start this company called Amazon, and I'm going to be the richest man in the world. And you know how I'm going to do it? I'm going to sell books. And you say, well, Marcus, why would he do that? Like, Amazon is not a book company anymore. You're wrong. You don't know anything about money. Well, contraire. He went out to sell books because books have SKU numbers, which means in all of the products, you could say, I'm going to sell cell phones. All right, how many different types of cell phones are there? I don't know, 200? How many different books are there? Millions. And so what did he do? He didn't say, well, I'm going to sell this one book and get rich. No, he said, I'm going to sell this one book, and I'm going to make $19 a day. And then I sell this one. And maybe this one sucks, and I only sell one a day. Then I'm going to sell this other one, and I'm going to have this other one in a minute. This is my secret book I'm going to share with you, the one that actually helped me out. And I'm going to sell this one and get 100 a day. And because he was able to do that, he now has millions of books for sale, and now he's making billions of dollars because each book sells a lot. You look at bestproducts.com, who is a great example of an affiliate site. How did they do this? Well, they did this by going for lots and lots of keywords, right? You look at that and you're like, okay, well, wireless earbuds, he gets 7,000 visitors a month from the word wireless earbuds. That is probably making him $20,000 or $30,000 a month, that one post. This one is probably making him $5,000. Treadmill desk, those are pretty expensive. That one's probably making him more. And let me show you the screen so you can see what I'm talking about, because that would absolutely help, wouldn't it? Right? So we see that, and we're like, okay, he's got a lot of stuff here. How did they do this? One bit at a time. The one phrase I'll tell you that I did like from the Think and Grow Rich book that I threw over here somewhere was where he was talking about how to eat an elephant. Now, I don't advocate that, and I think elephants are wonderful creatures that should be left in their nice natural habitat. But in this book, it says the way to eat an elephant, if you were to do that, is to have it one bite at a time. One bite at a time. You don't go out there and try to hork the whole thing down. You go out there one little bit at a time. And how do you get rich? One little thing at a time. One Facebook post at a time, one YouTube video at a time, one blog post at a time, one PDF, one product to sell, and you do it over and over and over again, even when you don't feel like it. You say, I'm going to do a blog post today. Oh, well, you know, the tech stuff. Forget about the tech stuff. Do the best you can. If it looks like garbage, figure out how to fix it later. Figure out how to do it later. Because if you can build this up and say, well, maybe I can sell some cereal. Maybe I could sell this 20-person tent. Okay, that's a big tent. I don't know. Maybe you could sell this gigantic tent. Maybe you could sell self-watering planters. I mean, there's so many things online that there's literally no excuse. If you're there and you're like, Marcus, I want to make money online, sorry, you have no excuse. It's actually very simple. Marcus, everything's too competitive. All right, well, let's just take his keywords, and I'll do this off screen because it might give us some weird stuff, but I want to make sure, right? So if we do a competition 3 or less, all right, we still got the this one here, 20-person tent. Are you telling me you can't go buy a 20-person tent, build it, make videos about it, make blog posts about it? Right? Maybe you could go out there and be the tent person, right? Let's see if this works. Let's try this out if you guys like this. And you could do this with anything. It's not hard to do. You just have to continue on and learn why things don't work and why things do work, and do more of what does work and less of what doesn't work. It's actually extremely simple and practical, and it has nothing to do with thoughts becoming things or manifesting the life you desire. It has to do with going out there and doing something small every single day. Every day, just like I think it was Warren Buffett said, or I think it was Einstein who said it. He said, the most powerful force in the universe is compound interest, right? You know, you go buy a house, you pay $250,000 for your house. By the time you pay it off in 30 years, you've paid like $700,000 for it. Why? Compound interest. They say, well, you know, we're only going to charge you $30 a day interest. Yeah, $30 a day interest times 30 years is an arm and a leg and all kinds of other stuff. And you start to realize, well, wait, if it works for them, like, because last I checked, when you go into a big city, those big buildings, they're banks. That's what they are, they're banks. And we look at that and we're like, okay, why are they like that? Because they charge interest, and it compounds, and it grows. Look at this. Person tent. So I looked at this one. I was like, okay, this guy's ranking for 20-person tent. I'll bet people want 4-person tent, 6-person. You could be the person tent site. You could be like, okay, I'm going to make $1,000 a month, $10,000 a month, whatever it is on these tents. That's all I do. And you know what? If you stick to the plan, forget about manifesting. Forget about junk. Stick to the plan. Doesn't matter if you think your thoughts are bad. I have days when my thoughts are bad and I come in here and I yell at the wall and I sit down and I do my work. This is what I do. I'm like, hey, you know what? This is what I'm going to do work. Why? Because I want the result. Because I don't want to feel bad and have to go to a job. That's like insult to injury to me. All right, some people love their jobs and stuff, but I think the kind of job I'd probably get, I probably wouldn't like. And I love what I do, and so I look at it and I say, every day, what if I sat there and I said, today, I will do a video on the 8-person tent. There's our tent, all right? And here's our little 8 people in there. There they are, all right? And we're like, okay, that's what I'm going to do. And then tomorrow, I'll do one on the 2-person tent. And then I'll do one on the 20-person tent. And overall, I'm building this site up, and what's going to happen is you're going to get momentum, and one of them will do good, and you'll be like, yeah, it's doing good. Make it like $5. And then another one will do good, and then one will do really good, and then it'll go through, and then it's just going to climb and climb and climb and climb and climb. And then you will make lots of money. Now, if you want to jumpstart it and make lots of money now, that's possible too. what would you do? You'd do video. Video would be quicker. And you do press releases. And you do this and you do that. And you would stay consistent. The reason you're not getting results, and I'm going to write something here, and I want you to tell me if you guys feel this. How many of you guys feel info overload? You're like, I want to do this stuff. I know I can, but I'm struggling from info overload. I want you to type info overload in the box if you are struggling from info overload. And I think YouTube added like a cool little heart button. So if you like this stuff, you can click the heart and it lights up my screen here, which is kind of cool. It lets me know that you like this stuff. You can also smash the like button, which on my drink, I subtly teach you to press the like button. There you go. It's subtle, you know, there you go. How many of you guys have info overload? I want to see this light up. I want you guys to tell me about info overload. If you feel you have this, get ready. We're going to end it right now. Get ready. Info overload, after this training, you will not have it anymore. No more. It'll be gone. You know why? Because info overload, much like the law of attraction and other things that you struggle with, motivation, all this stuff was created by marketers. Because if you have info overload, then I can sell you stuff. But if you don't have info overload, if you're focused, I can't really sell you anything. And here, I don't care about selling you stuff. You want to work with me later? Great. Go to my websites, figure out how to do that. Right here, I want you to understand that info overload is a myth. It does not exist. It doesn't exist. So, what is it then? It is lack of decision-making process. That says decision. I'm not going to try to spell it. It's lack of decision-making process. You don't have info overload. You have lack of decision-making process. If you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to make money online, offline, wherever, you are a decision maker. I get paid based on the decisions I make. And I make these decisions on a daily basis. So if you're having trouble with info overload, it's because you haven't decided, right? How many of you guys, if I said, I will give you $500 if you make me 5 videos on these top tents, how many of you guys would go figure it out? Type 500 in the box. If you're like, yeah, I'll figure it out. Again, it's hypothetical. We're not giving anyone money right here. But you start to look at this and you're like, wait, if I could do this, so here we go. Let's say there's $500 on the line. And I want you to be honest. If I said make 5 videos about tents, somewhat good videos, try to do a good job. How many of you guys would do it? Type 500. I want to see this in the box if you would do this for $500, because I'm going to prove something to you that is going to change your life. So Tenny says 500. Alan, Charles, Patrick, Dean, MC, Benjamin, everyone is saying if I gave them $500, they'd go figure out a way to make videos. So where'd your info overload go? Oh, where'd it go? It's suddenly gone now that there's a promise of a check. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that's why you're not rich, because you're looking for the 300. That's why. I just proved it to you, and you answered it in your own words. But if I said $1, hey, I'll give you $1 for the video, you'd say, get out of here. Stop wasting my time, $1. Yet that's what I do every single day, and that's what makes me more than most people. Because I go out there and I say, you know what? Forget it. I'm going to figure it out. Because you just said you'd figure it out without a course, without whatever. You'd figure out how to make those videos if someone said $500 is on the line. You'd do it right here, right now. You wouldn't need to manifest a thought. You wouldn't need to go out there and learn the golden keys to success. You'd say, Marcus, give me $500. I'm going to go make some videos. Just like you do every day, where you say, hey, my boss has a check, I'm going to go get it because I need money, so I'm going to go get the check. Yet the path to wealth is not this. It's this. Because what if each of these videos, so you said you'd make 5 videos for $500. What if each of these videos did $1 a day every day? $1 a day every day. Be $5 a day. Times 365, that'd be roughly $1,600. Yet you were willing to do it for $500, but you won't do it for $1,600 because it's not promised to you and it doesn't feel good. Because, hey, you're working, you don't see anything for a while. But the more you do, the better you're going to get, the more you're going to make. So we start to understand, wait a minute, so this has nothing to do with info overload and the way that I feel. It has nothing to do with it. It has to do with making the stuff. You don't manifest it. You don't thoughts or things. If you don't do this, you won't get paid using this method. And it's simple. Like I got to come into work and I got to say, you know what? I didn't feel like doing anything. I went to bed at 2. There was a snafu with our email program last night and it freaked me out, so I couldn't go to bed. I woke up, I was groggy, I was tired, I didn't have notes. I was worried about sending an email for this thing because I didn't want it to have the same snafu it had last night. But you know what? I got up and I did it anyway. And I turned the stuff on and I went over there and filmed the intro and I made these notes. This is all the notes I got. They were really small notes. And I was like, I'm going to do it anyway. Why? Because I know that this video overall will spread goodwill in the marketplace. And you know what? Maybe it'll get 10 views a day for the next 10 years. Maybe it'll get 1 view a day for the next, one view a day for the next 10 years. That's 3,600 views. Sure. I mean, you think about it, you're like, well, Marcus, there's only 3,600. Yeah, next time you go to like a concert and there's 3,600 people in the audience, think about all those people watching your stuff and the ability for them to buy things. What if you made a tent video, right? What if you went out there or a blog post, right? You go out there and you say, okay, 20-person tent. And you go out there and you're like, okay, 20-person tent. Dude's got 90,000 views. You think he sold some tents? I think he did. Here's some other people. 20-person tent. Are you telling me you can't make a 1-minute video about a tent? Is that what you're saying? And you're like, wait a minute, is that literally what I'm letting stop me from making a living online? Chicago says he doesn't know how to make videos. Go figure it out. Get your phone, get a tent. I am terrible with phones. My wife and kids are like, dude, how do you not know how to use a phone, but you run an internet business? And I think I could go here and, yeah, here we go. We'll go to camera, and then we'll click on video, and then I can make a video. So if there was a tent over there, I just go like that, and then make a video. There it is, making a video. Hi there. This is Marcus Campbell in the video. Hi. There you go. You point it at a tent, you hit stop, and then you upload it. It's not that hard, right? And we start to understand I'm not going to let anything sit in my way, stand in my way. I'm going to go get it. A lot of people are talking about press releases. What if you did a press release every week? There are friends of mine, there are students of mine that do press releases and they make $10,000 a month with press releases. They don't even own their own website, right? Now, are the results typical, implied, or guaranteed? Of course not. But what if you start to understand this? Leslie says, do I need to go buy tents to make videos? That would help. If not, you can, do screen sharing and things like that. If it was me, if I wanted to make $20,000 a month with a tent site, yeah, instead of buying some, walk across the coals with Tony Robbins for 10 grand, go buy 10 grand worth of tents. Very simple. And we start to look at that and we're like, hey, this works. How many of you guys are digging this? Smash that like button. Let me know in the comments below, because this is the key. Number 3. So number 1, let's go back to our notes here. Number 1, we talked about the $1 a day plan. All right, if you get that type of dollar. Benjamin says he made $300 in 1 day with my press release method. And I don't even think Benjamin's a customer of mine. I don't know. I haven't verified that, so but that's what he says. So we'll just take it at face value there. But I don't even think he's a customer of mine. He's just watched my free stuff. All right, so number one is the $1 a day thing. When you get that, you got to make it happen. Dean says you need to invest to make it work, I guess. You don't have to invest anything. Go out there. Like, you're sitting here, you commented. So, Dean, I want to show you something. You just now, your comment is going to be in front of thousands of people, because thousands will watch this before the day is over. And that's it. It didn't cost you anything. Now, I'm not saying go on videos and sell stuff, but that shows you that I could go on Facebook and find people right now. I don't need to invest anything. Go help people out. One of the quotes that I like was by Jim Rohn, who, if you haven't watched Jim Rohn, Tony Robbins was actually, he worked for him. And I'm not a super fan of Tony Robbins. Actually, I like the older stuff from Jim Rohn. He said you can have anything in life you want if you help enough other people get what they want. If I help enough other people get a bunch of tents, I can make money. I can have what I want. If I help enough people on Facebook with law of attraction or Bible quotes, I don't have to invest anything. Maybe I need a computer or a screenshot or whatever, right? Benjamin says, no, he's not a student. He just binge watches my videos. All right, thanks. You should check out Blog Profit Network, though, because, I mean, if you like my free stuff, you're going to like my other stuff, too. But we look at this, and we're like, okay, all I'm doing is helping other people. Now, we have to look at this, because number 3, all right, number 3 is super, super important. You want to make money? I'm going to write something here that you need to take heed. This is more powerful than any law of attraction stuff you will ever see. You ready for it? How many? I need to know that everyone's ready. I need you to smash that like button, and I need to type "I'm ready" in the box, because you can look at Think and Grow Rich, you can look at all this stuff, but what I'm about to write here on the board is more life-changing than these books. I guarantee it. I've read them. I've been a student of this stuff for 23 years, or no, more than that. Gosh, probably 30 years. How old am I now? Yeah, 30 years. I'm giving away my age. Luckily, I think all the gray hairs are hiding today. But this is important, because I tried all this. I went to the seminars, and I was depressed, and I was struggling, and I couldn't get it. Actually, this is something sobriety taught me. Sobriety taught me this. We're going to do different colors for effect. All right, there you go. See, this is high-tech stuff, I tell you what. All right. There's something I learned in rehab. It was a difficult lesson. Paid a lot of money for it. Almost lost my life to learn it. And it was, get over yourself. And what I learned is, one, we tend to think that we are owed something, even if you don't believe it. Like, I talk to Republicans, and some Democrats also believe this. I am not political at all. I don't care. But I know Republicans do like this. And they're like, hey, I don't like entitlements. Yet they feel like they're entitled to their own stuff. Well, yeah, Marcus, I pay taxes. Okay, well, that doesn't mean you're really entitled to stuff. That's just the law. And they can't get over themselves. If you don't get over yourself, it's going to be difficult to make money. Now, I realize that this is contrary to what we believe, because you look at Elon Musk, you look at Jeff Bezos, you look at all the rich people, and their egos are the size of Texas, and Texas is pretty darn big. I don't even think Elon's ego fits in Texas, right? Nice guy, good businessman, but they are ego inflated. For us, we need to get over ourselves, because if we're small and we're not making the money that we want to make, then we need to say, I'm going to get in the trenches and do it. And that brings me to the book I was going to tell you about earlier. When I was first starting out, I was looking at books to help me get where I wanted to go. And I came across this book. This is one of the first books I bought in my entrepreneur journey. Guerrilla Teleselling. And what it was a book about how to get on the phone, call people, and make money. I was like, okay, I got a phone. Back then I had one of them gigantic phones that was a cell phone, because they were big back then. And I was like, okay, I'm going to get over myself because I think, oh, well, I'm Marcus. I need to have money. I shouldn't be on the phone. But you know what? Remind me, I'll tell you how I did this in 2021 when things were going crazy. And I was like, hey, you know what? Sales might be low. Got on the phone again, and it worked. So I did, long story short, in 2021, I was worried about sales and stuff for one of my businesses. And I was like, well, what if I just did a promo where someone can get on a Zoom call with me for $97, and at the end of the call, if they don't think it was worth $97, I'll give them their $97 back. But they got to tell me on the call so that I could reverse it right then and there. And I was like, okay, that was good. I liked that. And guess what? 78% of the people that were on those calls bought something for $1,000 or more. No, I don't think anyone refunded the call. And I was like, wait a minute. So I basically got paid to call people and sell them stuff? Yeah. And so back in the day when I was first starting out, I would go to the old yellow pages. I think we got one around here somewhere. I don't know where it's at. I paid like $80 for some old yellow pages because I couldn't find one. It's around here somewhere. And I would go in there and I'd find limousine companies and I'd call them up and say, hey, I'll help you get business to your limousine website. Right? And I actually started via email. It wasn't cold calling most of the time. Cold calling was difficult. So I'd email them and they'd call me and there we go. It was great. And this book helped me out. What did this book do that this one did not? Here's a book that says you're going to think your way rich, you're going to feel good, you're going to be rich. Here's a book that says, here's what to do when you phone call someone to sell stuff. This taught me a skill. This skill was worth millions. This is worth me feeling good about stuff. But you know what? We need to get over ourselves because money doesn't care how you feel. It's an inanimate object. It is printed paper that represents money, right? It represents value. It's a unit of measurement. That's all it is. And people are obsessed with it. But you don't see people obsessed with rulers. They're like, oh man, I got to have 50 rulers. Why? That's just a measurement too. This is a measurement. It's a measurement of what the community owes you and what you owe the community. So if you have a lot of debt, that means you owe a lot to the community. If you have a lot of money, that means you gave a lot to the community. Pretty simple. But people get all flustered about this because it doesn't matter what you think. And then I learned something else. This came 9 years later because I had an ego. When I was drinking, I was like, oh man, I am the greatest businessman the world has ever seen. I should be getting tens of millions of dollars a minute. I'm great. And I didn't get over myself, and it almost took me out because I was so inflated and I thought, oh, I'm the greatest, I'm whatever. And then 9 years later in my sobriety, I realized, you know what? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how I feel about things. It matters the result I get. Because there are plenty of people. There have been studies done where there are people that live in tent houses in India. Tents. We're talking about tents a lot today. And they are happier or as happy as the middle class here in America. They did studies. They're like, hey, they're probably happier. And you're here with a $60,000 car and a house and a fancy watch and shoes. And they're pretty much don't have that much, but they're the same happiness. And so we ask ourselves, why? Is it about a feeling or is it about what we really want? And what do I want? Well, what I want is comfort, and I want to be able to share what I know. That's what I like, right? I love doing, we just built a new set over there for my Talk Sober channel where we talk about sobriety. But 9 years ago, I learned something because I always wondered why I procrastinated. I was like, how many of you guys are like, why do I procrastinate? Why don't I just do what Marcus says and get a result? Right? How many of you guys, you know what to do, you just don't do it? That was me. I was drinking. I didn't know I knew exactly what I needed to do. I knew how to make this work. I knew how to make the life I wanted, but I procrastinated and I didn't know why. And so I would read books. I would listen to people yell at me. I'd listen to Gary Vee over and over like, oh, you got to go do it, go do it, go do it, work, work, work. But it wasn't working. Nothing was working. Why? Did I need more yelling? Did I need more motivation? Did I need to feel different? No. I needed to realize, and we're going to solve it right here. Someone says procrastinating is their superpower. If you struggle with procrastination, watch this. Take notes. And we're going to have these available at downloadmynotes.com as well. Procrastination is about, new color, anger management. You know what procrastination is? It's pride. It's you not getting over yourself because you feel like you're above whatever it is you have to do. Fact. It sucks. Like when I learned this, I was like, well, that sucks. Basically, my ego was in the way. And there's a great book by, I think it was Ryan Holiday, called Ego is the Enemy. His stuff's actually pretty good. He talks about Stoic philosophy and how it relates to business. And so we were looking at it, and it's like, wait a minute, get over yourself. So if I get over myself and I just say, I'm just going to do this over and over and over again. I'm going to do it over and over and over again. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to get over myself. What do you do when you have to? I see people that are like, hey, I was successful, I lost everything, now I got to go work at Walmart. What do? You suck it up and you go work at Walmart, or you don't eat. That's like, sometimes you have to. And in rehab, I learned you can humble yourself, or you'll eventually get humbled. Within reason. Like, I don't think Jeff Bezos is ever going to get humbled. Like, he's got enough money to not be humbled and not worry about it. But for the rest of it, for the rest of us, we don't. And when we learn that procrastination is about anger management, it's not about motivation. It's not about more books. It's not about more tapes. It's not going to, it didn't work for me. What worked for me was realizing, okay, I'm angry about this because I think I should get paid just because I'm great. That's what I thought. And I said, no, wait a minute. If I want to get paid, I need to go do the stuff. And he realized that, you know, maybe you're like, well, Marcus, I remember I was hiring people earlier, I think it was 2 years ago. I was looking to hire people. And I came across someone who was one of the top salespeople for Tesla. She was a top sales rep at Tesla. She moved here from Texas. And she was like, you know, I want to get a job. And I'm like, well, you know, you're this top sales exec getting $100,000 a year. Why are you applying for my $50,000 a year job or whatever it was? And she was talking about it and how she had been humbled by it and how all this stuff happened, but she was trying to negotiate more. And I'm like, well, this job pays this much. Like, your skills at Tesla don't equate to this. Yet we think it does. We think, oh, well, I got $100,000 over here, therefore I should make this. Case in point, right now, ladies and gentlemen, I don't know if you've tried to buy a car recently. We're actually buying one today. It's getting delivered today. But I have a thing where I don't want to pay ridiculous prices for cars, even if I can afford it, just because it's unethical. I am not of the ClickFunnels mindset that says charge whatever people will pay, even if it puts them in the poorhouse. I don't agree with that. I price my products fair, and when people are struggling, I try to help them out as much as I can, and that's why I offer all this information free. Also, it sells a hell of a lot of stuff, so it's pretty cool. But we start to look at this, and we're like, okay, these car people got greedy during when the car prices were ridiculous thanks to Carvana and other things. And they got really greedy. And I called people, and they're like, nope, it's $10,000 over the sticker price. And I'm like, that's silly. Like, you're literally charging more than the company says it's worth, and then I drive it out, and you get the extra $10,000, and I'm now out? That is unfair. And I went to another dealer. We were buying a car for my daughter, and we go there, and he has a $5,000 loyalty fee. I'm like, what's that? It's a junk fee. And he's like, no, sir, it's not a junk fee. That's a loyalty fee. I said, so you're going to charge me to be loyal to your business? It costs money to be loyal? Where I come from, You give a good price, you give a good service, you help people out, and that is loyalty. And then he says, oh, here's a $2,000 discount. I'm like, cool, so I get a $2,000 discount? He's like, yeah, you pay $2,000 now and you get the discount on the next car you buy. I'm like, are you insane? But nevertheless, car dealers got greedy, and now they're not willing to humble themselves and go back. But they will be humbled. Watch. It will happen. And we start to look at this and we say, well, it's about anger management. It's about understanding, you know what? Sometimes I got to do what I got to do to get where I want to be. Sometimes I got to do what I got to do to get where I want to be. But the car dealers won't change it because they are working off of a feeling. I feel like I should get what I was paid last year. Well, sorry, it don't work that way. Do you know how many realtors went out of business in 2008 when everything crashed? Tons of them. Oh, well, Marcus, you know, we had a realtor crying on the doorstep. She wouldn't leave. We had to be like, lady, you got to leave, because she wasn't making money. And we were like, we're not going to take the offer. It's below what we're asking. And she's like, well, you have to. I'm like, no, I don't. And she was looking at it this way. And what we got to do is realize in life, we have to understand that the world doesn't care about your feelings. This is sad, but it's freeing. Because once I realize that it's not about my feelings, I can't will myself to win the lottery. All right, you look at it and you're like, well, Marcus, there's lots of videos of people who manifested and won the lottery. Yes, the odds of the lottery are the same whether you believe in the law of attraction or not. It's the same. The only thing is the church of the law of attraction is so big, some people are going to win the lottery anyway. Like, it's a fact. They're going to win it anyway. But it doesn't matter what your feelings are. The internet doesn't care about your feelings. Money doesn't care about your feelings. So what do? We look at it and we say, okay, well, what are we going to do? Mel says, do you have any testimonials? Yeah, there was a guy on here earlier who never bought anything from me, watched my free videos and made $300 in a day. That's pretty cool. I didn't verify it, but he told us earlier. So there you go. If you want testimonials, don't buy anything. Just follow what we say and go make some money. All right, so the feelings don't matter. So what we look at is, it is all about data. Life is about data. I do this, I get that. I build this, I get that. I work here, I get paid. I go do something that makes people angry, people are mad at me. And we start to realize that it's about data. But what we do is we look at feelings. You know how people come to me and they say, well, the search engines don't like me. Really? You think that Google and Yahoo are like, we don't like you? Oh, yeah, it's personal. They don't care. They just rank sites based on the way they rank sites. And if you have a good article about tents, maybe you think it's a good article, but other people don't. That's data. I don't get hurt and say, oh, well, I worked hard on that article. No, I do the best I can. I figure out why it didn't work, and I make it better next time based on what people want. Like this. I'll let you in on a little secret here. How many of you guys noticed that I started doing those intros in the beginning of my videos? Like I literally went out and I bought this camera here, which we talked about earlier. This camera here. I went out and bought this camera. Fancy camera. They use it on like Netflix documentaries. And so I got that camera and I started filming intros to my videos. Why? Because that's what people wanted. They wanted clear video, clear audio, and stories. For me, I just want to teach you guys how to make money. That's all I care about. But the people spoke, and they said the videos we're watching are people telling stories with good quality video and lighting, and basically not really talking about all that much until you get into the meat of the video. That's what people wanted. Why? Because most people watch videos because they want to feel better. Like, how many of you guys, honestly, you turned into this video because you wanted to feel better today? You're like, I want to feel better. I want to feel like I'm going to manifest something. I want to feel that way. But it doesn't matter. I felt like people wanted me to sit there and say, here's how to make money. Here is the key. They didn't want that. They wanted me to sing and dance. Back when I was a magician, I loved doing magic tricks. I hated dancing around and telling stories. But you know what the famous magicians did that made money? They danced around and told stories. You look at David Copperfield, most successful magician in all of history. He tells stories. He has great music. Most of his act has nothing to do with magic. It has to do with evoking a feeling out of the people listening. That's what it had to do with. Case in point, ipso facto, that is it. The data said people want to feel. That's what they said. You look at the data and you're like, like back in the day when reality TV was coming out, I'm sure there was TV executives that were like, you know what? Reality TV's not, nobody wants to watch reality. You know what? That guy was wrong. And he probably lost billions of dollars because he was wrong because, yeah, people want to watch reality TV. Not me, but other people do. And you start to realize, wait a minute, I might be wrong. And having the ability to be wrong is one of the most best keys to success because you're going to start to realize that, hey, I could be wrong. Maybe I will be. I've been doing this for 23 years. This year, I figured out people wanted good quality videos and stories. Less about the tech side, more about the stories. I started doing it. We reap the rewards. Had I been stuck in my ways and said, nope, this is the way I do things, I wouldn't make the money. With my blogs, right? I got to realize, okay, it's about this, it's about that. Very, very important. And we start to understand exactly how it works. And this is the key to making money. This is the key to making this stuff happen. Very, very important. So that is step number 3. We're going to get into step number, let's see, which step are we on now? We're going to get into step number 4 in just a minute. So sit tight. We'll be right back with that one. And you can ask questions and everything after that too.
Oh, hi there. Don't worry, Marcus will be right back in just a few minutes. If you want to get a Lamborghini full of cash like me, make sure you pay attention to this important announcement.
All right, while we're taking a little break here, I wanted to let you know about blogprofitnetwork.com. If you've ever wanted help with affiliate marketing, over at blogprofitnetwork.com, you can sign up and get help each and every week. But that's not all. We're also going to give you blog plugins, recordings of every webinar we've had since we started Blog Profit Network, all kinds of tools and videos and help to get you making money online. And as if that's not enough, we're also giving you a free domain name from my own personal private vault. You can see here some of the estimated values according to GoDaddy from some of the domains that we gave away previously. There's a gigantic list in Blog Profit Network, and you can claim a free domain as soon as you sign up. Plus, you're going to get all kinds of help and tutorials, including my custom plugins, Funnel Voodoo, Ad Profit Voodoo, Click Voodoo, Button Voodoo, Slide Voodoo, and more. And every Tuesday, we have a live call where you can ask questions, show me your sites, your niches, and get help on pretty much anything that has to do with making money online. And all of this is available for less than what it costs to get a cup of coffee each and every day. That's right, you can sign up now and get help for a fraction of what the other gurus are charging. Yes, this is the real deal. Just take a look at the members forum and see everything we have to offer, from specials on domains to the Blog Profit Network training videos, the Voodoo plugins, blog themes and templates, special reports from my own keyword research, notes from my videos, the domain names I talked about earlier, and downloadable recordings of each and every training we've had on Tuesday. There's a ton of them, including topical videos like how to start blogging, buying domains for profit, setting up videos to make money with an automated YouTube channel, how to get SEO traffic, and a whole lot more. So if you're ready to get the help you need to profit online, hop on over to blogprofitnetwork.com and sign up today.
Whoa, that's some cool stuff you got there over at
blogprofitnetwork.com.
But, Marcus, hey. Marcus, where are you? Come on, hurry up. These people are waiting. Marcus, come on. All right, now back to our show.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back, and we are going to go with our next steps here. So we got the secret $1 hack, we got consistency, we got get over yourself and get what you want, and then we have be grateful for what you have. This is key because a lot of people, they get stuck in the desire and they're like, oh, well, that guy has this car, I want that car. This guy has this thing, I want that thing. And once we realize that things aren't really what we're after is security and a lifestyle that we want. Like, sure, it's fun to have a boat and a car and whatever, but we have to start to look at it and understand exactly what's going on and be grateful. What if you were grateful for how you are right now? Like, hey, right now I'm okay. I got food, I got stuff I need. I have the internet so I can go make money. I have all this stuff that I can do. That is number 4. Number 5 is the key about helping others. Like Jim Rohn said, if you could have anything in life you want, if you help enough other people get what they want. And how do you find other people to help? Well, you are going to find other people by looking at keyword tools and data. Right? People ask me all the time, oh, hey, how would you promote this? Well, what I would do is I'd find people who want it. I'm going to go out there, I'm going to use my keyword tools to find people who want what it is I have. And you can see here with our searches, we do the same thing every day. We just started ranking for this keyword for master resale rights. People looking up resale rights want to make money. They can get into my courses. It works really easy. Or Spamzilla. We rank for Spamzilla. I think I can probably pull up the results here just to show you, hey, the rankings actually work and make money, right? You go out there, you make stuff work. We have videos that rank. We have blog posts that rank. We have a site that I bought, and it actually makes money. We've made 21 bucks on it today so far, right? And then we could see if we do like a year. I think I've been promoting this for like a year and a half or so. Got over $38,000 in sales, $11,000 in commissions to me. And you can see that is there. It's live. You can refresh it. There's today. There's last year all time. And you can see exactly what's going on. Now, you might say to yourself, well, $11,000 isn't that much, Marcus. Well, it might not be, but it adds up to, I think this one makes, let's see, this is one blog post and like 2 videos. And so a month today, we're in August, so we'll do last month. So last month, $500. So that's $6,000 a year. You might say, well, $500, what am I going to do? Pay for, food? Maybe. That's good. One less thing to worry about. And we start to understand, okay, this is pretty cool, right? And Spamzilla there is pretty good. And we're going for low competition stuff. And you can see that is what it looks like. We're not even number 1 for it. I think we're number 8. And you can see here what it looks like. There we are there. And it makes money. Right? And we look at that and you're saying, well, Marcus, that's only $500. Well, guys, guess what? That's $500 a month. So what does that make me? I think I closed it out. Let's go back over there. What does that make me in a year? And how did that work for our $1 a day plan? Again, this all ties in. It all comes full center. And if we do, let's do last year. So last year, it made $4,873. So $4,873. And what did I do? I helped people learn to use software so that they could get domain names. That's what I did. It is plain and simple, super easy. So we got 4378 over 365. Let's use a calculator here. 478 or 4873 over 365. So that is roughly $13 a day. So one of mine did $13 a day. That's pretty cool. If I do 100 of them, I'll make $1,300 a day, right? But the average is maybe some will make $1, maybe some will make $100. And you're not going to find the $100 ones if you don't get the $1 ones. But I think if you focus and you say, okay, well, could I do this with something I know? Maybe there's a software that you know. Maybe there's something you understand. And you start to look at it and you start to understand exactly how this works, and it's not hard to do. There's the results right there. We have other stuff that works extremely well too, and you start to realize, oh, this is all about focusing on little things. Focus on little wins. If I get little wins, that's what we're going to do. You look at this and you're like, okay, well, it gets 700 searches a month. That's not some magical great thing, but it does end up making money. And you start to realize, oh, hey, that's going to add up. And then over time, you'll get daily money, which is pretty cool. And you're like, hey, that's good stuff. There you go. Some other stuff we do, let's see, I think I have an impact one, which is another one. And you start to realize, oh, hey, wait a minute, this stuff adds up, right? Like Traveling Alien says 4,800 can lead into 10,000. Well, hey, and even if it just stays at 4,800, that's cool too, right? Here's another one, 3,400 a month on average, $100 today, and we got tons of these all the time, and you start to understand, hey, wait a minute, what Marcus is teaching me about these tents, that actually works, right? We could go out there and we can find things that work in a very, very simple way. What this is about is helping others and strategically saying, okay, I'm going to make something once that helps people over and over and over again. A couple years ago, I made a post. Yeah, this one I made a couple years ago. Okay? How to profit with resale rights. There we go. I got little notes from my video. I made a little video, and now it's in front of a lot of people, and I get traffic every day. All I got to do is put stuff on there that's going to make money. We do the same kind of thing with our other websites. You guys saw I got the emoji website, and this is similar to what we do in our high-ticket niches program. We give you guys a domain. We help you rank it. We show you exactly how it works. If this, I don't know what is going on here with this one, but it's ranking for 1,800 keywords, and there's new stuff coming up all the time. I had my assistant put one up over this winky face meaning, right? And I've actually made millions of dollars with emoticons, so this is something that I know well. There it is there. What does the wink emoji mean? This is created with AI, right? It's so simple. You look at our SUV one, and you look at it and you're like, what do you do? Did I feel like making a post on this stuff? No, not really. But am I going to go down the line and make everything work and build and grow each and every day? Yes, that's what I'm going to do. And we start to understand, okay, well, maybe I can rank for fastest SUVs under $100,000 or best SUV. Or you go through and you take a look at what people are doing. Like we just sold this sign for this site about PDF signs. And this is a domain I got years ago. And it ranks for all different kinds of signs and things like that. Works great for Etsy and things. And what we have to do is we have to be willing to learn and grow with our audience. We have to be willing to put in the work every day, even when it feels like it's not working. Because you know what? That master resale rights one, like, it wasn't ranking for years. I did the video. It got a couple thousand views, gets like 100 views a month. But now it started popping up for this. And it's like the old saying, when the tide rises, all boats rise. And what's going to happen is if you have a lot of stuff in the water, let's see, are you seeing that there? If you have a lot of stuff in the water and the tide rises, your boats are going to rise with it. And if you have a lot of boats, guess what? You're going to make a lot of money off your boats. And you start to realize, wait a minute, yes, I get it. And it's not hard to do. Like with AI, you really don't have excuses anymore. You just have to go do it. And you have to focus on what people are doing. And it doesn't matter what you're doing, if it's the same thing. You look at a grocery store. I was talking to our local grocery store a couple years ago, and I was like, well, what's an average day look like? And she's like, well, a good day is like 100,000, 120,000. A small day is like X amount. And you look at that and you're like, okay, so you got the grocery store. They're making $100,000 in a day. There we go. One day. Hey, most people go to work to do that in a year. How do they do it? Is it because they have mayonnaise? No. It's because they have all those things on the shelf. And they might sell $200 worth of mayonnaise in a day, $1,000 worth of eggs, and overall, it adds up. And that's the secret to making this work. Nobody got rich without making their first dollar first. You have to start somewhere, and it's going to compound. And you look at it, and it's like, okay, over 100 years, yeah, mayonnaise made billions of dollars. And you look at mayonnaise. It's like, okay, the mayonnaise company, how do they make money? Well, they made $800 at this grocery store today. All this other stuff at other grocery stores. It's all broken down. Success, contrary to what this says about thinking rich and feeling good and manifesting wealth, it can be broken down. You look at every website, you look at the keywords they rank for. That is how they make money. Very important. And you start to understand, oh, I can do this, I can do that, but sometimes I'm not going to feel like it. Sometimes I'm not going to want to do it. That's when we got to get over ourselves and focus on the plan. If your plan is to sell a product that you created or sell a book that you wrote, how are you going to do it? Find a platform that's going to work and realize, you know what? You might go out into the world and they might say your product sucks and your book is terrible. I'm not going to get angry about it. I'm going to adapt and make it what people want. If I want to make money. If you're just writing it because you want to share it with the world, great, go do that. But don't expect to make money, right? You have to go out there and do what people want if you want to make money. And you start to realize how this works. And we'll do some Q&A in just a little bit. And we look at that. So Messing With You says, I have a bunch of websites. Are you recommended I keep the sites? Not making much money right now, mostly because I don't have the time or will to work all of them. Well, what I would do is I would look at the sites and see if you have anything of value, right? Is there any rankings that are worth value? Is there stuff that is making, that could make money? Because I get people all the time. There was a guy last week that was in our Blog Profit Network call. And this guy came in and he's like, I have this website. It's getting, what was it? I think it was Mexico something, like safety in Mexico. How safe is Mexico? That was him. How safe is Mexico? We're going to do an interview with him. But he's got tons and tons of keyword rankings. And he's like, hey, check this out. According to the overview, I should be making $9,000 a month. All right, he's not. He's making, I think in the high hundreds, like right around $1,000 a month, I believe. And so my goal was, okay, let's look at each keyword you rank for and see what you can do. Is Cancun safe? Those are people looking to travel. Let's put some travel rewards credit cards on that. Does Mexico have states? That's probably one I'm not going to pay attention to because they're looking for info. And so we're going to go through with a fine-tooth comb and we're going to treat each thing individually. So what I would do is go through your sites, see what's working, see what's ranking, and see how you can make money with it. And that's super simple. Chrissy, just reach out to Lauren. She'll make sure I get it. But we start to realize how this works, and it's not difficult. It's actually extremely simple. You just follow the list, go down the line, and people are going to tell you, no, it's about feeling, it's about this, but that's not the thing. And we got to look at it and start enjoying the process. What if you enjoyed this stuff like I do? I love this. I love looking at what ranks. I like looking at how people make money. I like the tent example because I'm like, wow, someone could make 10 grand a month with tents. Obviously not typical, implied, or guaranteed, but you guys get the idea and you start to realize, hey, there's something here. Like this internet thing kind of works. And I told you the story in the beginning where I didn't feel like it was going to work for me. Nobody believed in me, but I knew it would work. The fact was the internet is big and it's getting bigger and people are searching. Therefore, I can make it work. And I was able to see, hey, here's this ranking, and that equated to this money I got. So I can do more of the ranking and get more money, and everything is going to fall into place. And you start to realize that it doesn't matter how I feel, doesn't matter what I think, doesn't matter all this stuff. It matters what I do. What am I going to do? Just like I learned when I got sober, I read books. I tried to get sober. I read every book, almost every book. Probably not close to every. I read a lot of books, right? And it wasn't helping me. And I was like, why can't it work? I have the knowledge. But knowledge gives you options. What you learn here on this channel is going to give you options. I could make a YouTube, I could make a blog, I could buy and sell domains. Those are options. But what you do is what's going to put money in your pocket. And when I was getting sober, it was what you know gives you options, what you do keeps you sober. And what do? I focus on what I'm going to do to not drink every day. And that was the key, and it's very, very important. Benjamin says, Marcus, I want to buy banner ads outside of Google Ad Content Network. Where can I buy them? Go look at sites that you want to buy banners on and reach out to them. I do it all the time, right? I spend probably $4,000 or $5,000 a month in banners, sometimes more, and I buy them on websites rather than through a network. So you could do it, just reach out to the network. Most of them will have a little advertise link on the bottom of the site. Melatonin, where do I go to see if my account is still active? I have no idea. I don't know what you're asking. What kind of account? AD says, on-page SEO is one part only. The hard part is offside. That's why we buy domains and go for easy-to-rank keywords, right? I mean, you can rank for a keyword that is easy to rank for. You don't need a lot of backlinks. We do it all the time. And that's the key. You're going for a too competitive word. And that's where people are at. They have the pride of, oh, I should be able to rank number one for how to make money because I'm the best. Well, I don't rank for it, and I think I'm pretty good, right? But that doesn't matter. I rank for other words. And you start to look at it and start to understand, I'm going to do what works. Any suggestion for solo ads? If you don't know what you're doing with solo ads, don't do them because you'll probably lose money. Do I have an affiliate program? Blog Profit Network is on ClickBank, so yes, it does. My other stuff, we're pretty selective of who we take. Yeah, and I don't like talking about that because I don't want people to promote my stuff as a way to make money. Like, you should go do the tent thing. You make more money with the tent thing anyway. But if you do have a following or a list and make money, then maybe that could work. But you can reach out to us for that. Let's smash the like button. Thanks for that. Future Millionaire says, I have $500. Where can I start to earn at least $10 in a day? Well, I mean, having $500 is kind of irrelevant. Like, does it help? Sure. But are you going to go pay someone $500 to give you $10 a day? Probably not. Like, that's a pretty good ROI. You're asking for 6 times your money in a year. What I would do is say, well, maybe I could spend $100 on a good domain name and then build it up. That kind of thing. So you could check that out, or you could go to our site. I think we have a domain sale going on now. You can reach out to Tina on tickets or Lauren in live chat, and there's a little button here. We have a secret domain sale. You can just click that and then talk to our people about that. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff you could do. You just have to really focus. Life Hustle says, your content is great. Any suggestion for AI tool for writing content? We've been using Content at Scale. However, I would say if you don't have money, you can get good results with ChatGPT. If you watch my videos on ChatGPT, you could probably get by without paying for a tool. I don't think that's hard at all. I think you can do that in a really easy way. Okay? And again, it's about helping people and making content and making things that they're actually going to want to engage with, things that they're going to want to look at and things that they're going to get value out of. It's not hard to do. You just have to keep on. Even when it feels like it's not working, you have to keep going. There have been times in my life I didn't feel like it was working, but I did it anyway. I'm like, I'm going to keep doing this. Now, that's not to say, like, do things that aren't working. You want to do stuff that you know will work, something based on data. You need to take smart data-driven actions, but even if they're not working the way you want, keep going. I've had people who they're like, oh man, my site's not ranking, and then they disappear for 3 months and it skyrockets. I'm like, you didn't do anything. It just took a while to take off, and that's cool. But everyone wants something today. They want to get rich today, and they want lottery-type mentality instead of actually going through and making it work. It's very simple. Can you make money today? Sure. Find something to sell, go sell it on Facebook or YouTube or something like that, and be ethical and be upfront and help people out. That's the key. Like, the cool thing about being an affiliate marketer and being in the business I'm in is it doesn't matter what you buy. Like, hey, I could talk about 5 different keyword tools, and if you like number 5, it doesn't matter. I get paid on all of them. So my goal is just to help you find the best tool. That's it. I remember years ago, my dad was talking about how he ran his real estate business. And he's like, I run it to where my goal is to help someone, not to get my commission. Like, that's cool, but I want to help them. If it is not in their best interest, but I get commission, I'm not going to do it. I want to do something in their best interest. And I was like, wow, that's a good way to look at it, because most salespeople just want to make the sale. But if you focus on wanting to help people, Online, it's a game changer. Like, okay, well, if you don't want the 20-person tent, I'll sell this other thing. And all I do is go and really focus. Future Puzzle says, is it specifically WordPress sites that rank well, or can it be other things? WordPress is easy and it works, so yeah. And it's free, so I mean, there you go. How narrow or broad should a blog niche ideally be? So you want to be very narrow in the beginning, and then when you get bigger, you can go broad. Future Millionaire says, where can I find clients? I have really well experience with CSM, on-page SEO. Well, I mean, you could go in groups. You could make videos about your expertise and then sell stuff off the videos. You can try to rank. You can go on Fiverr. You could build sites and sell them on Flippa and then offer the SEO as an add-on. There's a lot of things. Or you can go to local clients. What I did in the beginning, which is what started my whole business, was I went and I found a group of people. So instead of just being, hey, I'm the SEO guy, what I would do is I would say, oh, hey, I am the SEO guy for limo companies. And I would go and I would email all the limo companies that were not ranking, and then that would work. And there's plenty of limo companies for any SEO guy to make a good living, a really good living. I've done it. And so you're just like, oh, hey, I can do this, and it's easy, and your testimonials will all be about limo, and you can rank for limo SEO easier than SEO, and it's not that hard to do. You just go through and go down the list, and now you're focusing on one set of clients. And then you can make a YouTube channel. Here's how to rank your limo business. I mean, it's not hard to do. You just need to focus. The problem is everyone's focusing on one thing and not the narrow. If you do the narrow, it's going to win. It's going to win time and time again. You're doing business tips. Do business tips for one thing, right? You look at some of those people that got big, and that's how they did it. And it works really well. How much money do I need to start affiliate marketing? 0. You could start with 0. Does faceless content on social media help sell courses or products? Big time. Big time. Like, it's not even funny. I think, yeah, there's stuff that just makes a fortune. Bianca, I have a bunch of websites with nothing on them and no rankings. Should I get rid of them, or is it worth it to put without seeing them? I have no idea. Like, I don't know. You might have one that will rank really good. You might not. Without seeing them, I would have no idea. If you want me to look at your list of websites, I would say check out blogprofitnetwork.com and come on one of our Tuesday calls. Give me your list of sites. We'll run it through our tools and see what we do. We do that pretty much every week. People ask me to look at their sites. Sean, I'm a new high-ticket niche client. Hi, welcome. Can I ask a question about the domain you've chosen for me? Sean, tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, we have a call for our high-ticket niche people, 11 Eastern time. It's every Thursday at 11. And go on there. You can ask about the domain. And there, I can actually pull it up and say, hey, look at the rankings. Here's what we got. And then you can decide to get a different domain or stay with the one you have or whatever it is. And that is Thursday at 11, every Thursday. Again, like I said, without fail, I show up and I do this stuff. Whether I feel like it or not, I just do it. How would you monetize the Bible quotes? I would probably try to find giveaways or something that pays well, like maybe a trinket or something on OfferVault. Or I monetized it with the Bible Toolbar, but I'm not sure if that's a product anymore. Business tips for dishwasher in Detroit. Like you wash dishes, or like the actual dishwasher unit? I don't know. The Bible affiliate program, I don't think it's available, but there are similar ones. Moonlight says, Tuesday calls are astounding. Do it, do it. All right, thanks for that. Yeah, those are good, and you can get that at blogprofitnetwork.com. Let's see. But yeah, I think the key is you just got to get started somewhere. And like Chrissy says, it's not if, it's when. If you stay the course, stay the path, it is not if, it is when. You can get results. You just have to be willing to get results. Get out of this, I will do it when I feel good. Everyone's waiting to feel good, right? So why don't you just do something? Bring your butt and your brain will follow. That is the key. Is there a different time I can have access to you? Reach out to our support team. They'll help you with it. You can go to pcmoneymaking.com. That's our support. What is the difference in value of a site with good traffic versus site with a small income? I mean, they can be the same. Like you can have a site with good traffic and a small income. You can have a site with a small income and no traffic, or good traffic and no income. I mean, there is no difference. What I'm looking for is a very specific metric, which is who is coming to this site, why, and what can I do with it. Great training, just in time for your Mentor Me promo I'm launching. Okay, cool. How would you target an audience of another country using social media? Find a social media outlet or a news outlet in that country. Vern, Master Resale Rights is a huge deal over on TikTok, which is probably why you're hitting for you now. Could be, yeah. And by the way, Master Resale Rights are so overhyped. Maybe I'll need to make that. Lauren, if you're here, can you make a note to do that video? What did LOA stand for? Law of Attraction. Yeah, so we're looking at that, and it's like, hey guys, you can get results, you can do this, but if you're waiting to feel good, you're waiting for some law of attraction, kumbaya stuff to change your life, the people making money with law of attraction and manifesting are the people selling the books and stuff with law of attraction. They're probably not doing it themselves. And so we look at that, and basically, what is it? Let's look at it realistically. What is law of attraction, Think and Grow Rich? It's a religion. That's what it is. It's the religion of the universe owes you a living, and if you just tap into it, it'll give you a living. Well, you know what? The universe doesn't owe me anything. I didn't choose to be born in affluent America. Other people didn't choose to be born where they're born, so the playing field is level. I don't deserve anything. And once you realize that, you're free to go get what you want, right? I can have anything in life I want if I help enough people get what they want. Or like on Pirates of the Caribbean, I think it was Jack, he says, there's only two things, what a man can do and what a man can't do. And we can make that neutral, what a woman can do and what a woman can't do. It goes either way. And you start to look at this and say, well, what can I do? Well, I can go and I can make a site about XYZ. Okay? Am I willing to do that? Right? No. Yes. All right? There's certain things that certain gurus have done that I won't do. That's my own deal. I just choose not to do that. There's certain things that make lots of money that, for me, I'm not going to do that. So I say no. Can I? Yeah, I can do whatever I want. You could do whatever you want if you're willing to pay the consequences for what that action is. I like to be on the up and up and say, I'm going to promote stuff that's ethical, good, legal, and just help people with tents, or help people buy a new SUV, or help with this or that. And we start to realize that, we're like, hey, that's pretty cool. I don't have to do all that other stuff. I can make a good amount of money doing what I want to do and doing what I love doing and focusing and building and growing on a day-to-day basis. And that is the key. That's the secret that nobody talks about, because it's a lot more fancy and cute and wonderful to say, just relax and money will come your way because the universe owes you. The universe doesn't owe us nothing, right? That is exactly why I wasn't number one in sales at Adobe. I wouldn't compromise my values. Exactly. There you go. And now Photoshop is actually having a hard time because of AI. They over-promoted AI, and now they're having to lay people off, and the people that use the product are angry because they're like, well, you just took my job away. So there you go. If you plan on selling digital products, this is Bianca, if you plan on selling digital products, should the blog be the main thing and the shop on the subdomain, or the other way around? So if you're going to sell a digital product, depends on how many you have. I'd start with one. Don't start with 100. Start with one. And just get a PayPal button. Once you start selling, then go invest in fancy shopping carts. If you, like, people are out there and they're like, we're going to get the fanciest shopping cart. I'm like, good. Do you have people to put stuff in that cart? No, we're going to do that. Then it doesn't matter. I'm going to set it up with PayPal. And when I get enough money in PayPal from my sales to go buy a fancy shopping cart, then I'll do that. Baby steps. How to target a particular country audience? Well, if you're doing paid traffic, you click the country you want. How quickly can one expect to see results when targeting low competition keywords? If you use press releases, it could be instant. If you're using paid traffic, it could be instant. If you're doing Facebook, it might take a while. If you're doing your own site, it might take a week or so. It just depends. I have a bunch of coloring books already. Well, it depends on what the coloring books are about. I would think that that would be better suited for Etsy because people trust Etsy. Or even Amazon. People trust Amazon, but drive your own traffic there. The problem is people make a book and they expect Amazon to make them rich. That ain't going to happen. You need to go out there and you need to get your traffic. Some people get lucky and Amazon makes them rich. The vast majority need to go out there and promote the book. And you want a way to promote books? It's very simple. You go on YouTube and you color the books. You're like, today we're going to do an ASMR coloring book relaxation. Here I am coloring the lion. If you want this lion, go over here to my Etsy store and get the lion. And here he is. We'll make a little blue mane. We'll make some happy trees like Bob Ross. And you start to realize, hey, there you go. It's not hard to do. This is not hard to do. The gurus make it hard because if the gurus knew that it was this easy, they wouldn't be able to sell you overpriced courses. Is there a past video that teaches us what to do after getting expired domain? Yes, there's lots of them. That call is only for high-ticket niche. Yes, the Thursday call is high-ticket niche people only. Let's see. Marcus, are the new free domains in the BPN, do they have rankings? Some do have rankings, yes. Some are totally new, some have rankings. A lot of the ones that we give away in Blog Profit Network are expired rather than auction domains, but some of them had recent rankings. How should I promote a gift card offer on a landing page? Put a link that says click here to get a gift card. What traffic source? There's no way of telling what traffic source because I don't know what gift card it is. Like a lot of you guys are putting the cart before the horse. You need to understand your audience before anything else. Like Bianca with her coloring books, you need to understand the coloring book market more than you understand how to make a coloring book. You have to. The market is everything. If you understand who you're talking to, it's game over, you win. Next year, I'm going to be able to say C. Okay, cool. Carolina, how should I promote? We already did that. Even coupon offers, how should I promote them? Go for coupon traffic. Go to Ahrefs, type in coupon, go to your free keyword tool, type in coupon, start ranking. How to target particular country organically. Make a site that primarily speaks in that country's language. Like, why would you want to do that? I mean, there's no real reason to do it unless the site that you're using already does that. In that case, you don't need to ask that question. Otherwise, there's no point. All right, Bob Ross, there you go. Bob Ross was great. And talk about a guy who just went out there and built an empire doing what I'm telling you to do. Right now, he did his own paintings and taught people to paint and sell paint and courses and stuff like that. But what did he do? He showed up every day and painted on cable access TV. Now he's huge. And we start to understand, wow, this is amazing. It's the exact thing, only we don't have to have the equipment Bob Ross had. All I need is a cell phone camera, an easel, and some paint. There you go. Boom. Done deal. Purchased HTN over a year ago. Can I still access the Thursday call? Well, I don't like to publicly say this, but I will. If you purchase a high-ticket niche from us, you have access to the Thursday calls as long as I keep doing them. So if I'm still doing them in 10 years, you still can get them with your one HTN purchase. Is that pretty cool? I think that's a good value there. I want you guys to get the best. So the answer, Razor, is yes, you can. Promoting CPA offer for particular, why? Why are you choosing the offer first? You should be choosing the traffic first. Get your market first. Very important. All right, guys, I think we're getting close to the end of this, what is now an hour and 45-minute training. I thought it was going to go like a half hour, but hey, you know. How do you do CPA organically? Please explain. The same way you do anything else. You're going to get traffic. So let's say I have a site like, I have a client site. This was actually a high-ticket niche. dogallergyadvisor.com. So this one here ranks for all different kinds of keywords about dog allergy stuff. And so we're going to promote CPA. This is an organic site. This was a high-ticket niche customer with a premium domain. She ranks for all kinds of stuff. She hasn't done anything. This is a site. She hasn't done anything to it. I haven't talked to her in over a year, and it's still ranking. It's actually getting ranked better, right? She was like number whatever. Now she's all here, Dog Allergy Advisor. And so what we're going to do is we are going to promote an Offer Vault CPA offer for dog insurance or pet insurance. So pet insurance here, we could see $20 CPA. So those are the offers. So it's the same thing. You're just going to use your traffic to promote CPA offers. It's the same exact thing. And that's why our high ticket niche program is so valuable, because look at this. This is what she got. So instead of selling you some $5,000 course, I'm giving you a site with ranking, a domain that is worth money, right? You go to GoDaddy Appraisal, and they are worth money. Now, GoDaddy Appraisal, like, take it with a grain of salt. But if you look at the similar sites, you'll see the value. So this one says $1,000 value dog arthritis guide. So that went for $1,300. Yeah, I think this is a pretty solid one. And we start to realize, well, he gives me a domain worth money. It's got rankings, usually. It's going to have content that they create for me. I get Thursday access for life and Tuesday access. So I get 2 calls a week where I could ask what I want. I mean, it's a no-brainer. And then worst case scenario, I sell my site and my domain later down the road. And we start to understand exactly how it works. Blogging Friend says, is it possible to make money from business reviews? Of course it is. There are sites out there that are like credit review, right? There's like credit companies that review. This is something I showed one of my clients years ago who wanted to rank for like all these credit company reviews. Let's do credit, what is it called? Credit repair review. And you see all these companies. Yes, you could. Now, if you're doing reviews on companies you have not purchased from, you could be in legal hot water, because if you're like, hey, this guy's terrible, and you never purchase. This is, Wealthy Affiliate taught their people to do this years ago, and it was a complete pain in the neck. And they were basically like, well, go write bad reviews on Marcus's product so we can get his traffic. That's why there's so many bad reviews about me. If you look at those sites, it's all Marcus's product bad, Wealthy Affiliate good. And I'm like, that's not ethical. So don't do that. If I wanted to be a pain, I could probably sue people for doing that. I heard from someone, a friend of mine, he got sued for like 300 grand. Another one got sued for 90 grand because they were bad talking a company, not for the purpose of reviewing it, just for the purpose of getting the traffic and pointing to their offer. So if I'm like, hey, this bank is terrible, come to my bank, that's not good. Don't do that. But could you ethically do reviews? Yes, probably. Yeah, but that's why, like, you know, those review companies are, it's a bad business model. Get your own traffic. Do a good job. Get your own traffic. Like, if you want to promote Wealthy Affiliate, if you think it's a good product, go make videos about why it's a good product. Don't talk about why other people are a bad product. That is not a good business model. I never advocate that. That's one of the reasons I don't tell people about my affiliate program, because I don't want to do that. But is their product good? I don't know. I mean, I had their product years ago, but, you know, do I agree with that promotion method? No. It's a terrible promotion method. It's basically like, you want to be the coolest guy in town, tell everyone why everyone else is not cool. That's not good. If you buy an expired domain, do you rewrite the articles? I rewrite them, because if I buy an auction domain or expired domain, I did not buy the rights to the content. Probably out of my realm, but what do I need to purchase to be part of that? The HTN calls. A high-ticket niche. Yeah, just highticketniches.com. And then you get a domain, you get a content, you get a site, you get help, you get all our software on the site. Lots of cool stuff. Future Millionaire, can you share a case study, your first site that you build from scratch and sell that site for 30X? I sell them all the time, so it would just depend on which one I decide to do a case study on. But we literally do that all the time. So you got to smash the like button there. You like that? It fits on my cup perfectly. I was like, hey, that's kind of cool. All right, guys, any other questions? I think we're about ready. I think it's been a good training. Hopefully you guys got a lot of help with the mindset stuff and even some ideas of some niches that you can make money with, which is really cool. Here's chicken coops. You could do that. Baby Grinch. I mean, there's so much stuff out there. There's really no excuse other than you just don't feel like doing it. Well, sometimes neither do I, but I feel like making money. Reptile Point says he recommends classes. And Reptile Point was one of our high-ticket niche students also. He was struggling for years. Last I heard, he got his first sale, reptilepoint.com, I think. And he's doing this about like all this stuff, and he's getting sales. His traffic looks like it's going up, so that's pretty cool. How much money do I make personally? It depends on the month, but I make a pretty good amount. I'm happy with it. Let's see. Do I believe in LOA? I do not believe in the law of attraction. I think that it's a religion. That's all it is. Is it a law? No, it's not a law. It's a feel-good way to think you're going to get rich by manifesting it. Some people preach that you have to work, but if you have to work, why waste your time with law of attraction? Why not just go to work, right? Like, I don't know. I'm going to save the time and go to work. There are so many good domains waiting for new owners. Absolutely. James, I think the problem that people have with the law of attraction is that people don't take action. The LOA will give you the idea. Well, law of attraction doesn't give you the idea. It gives you nothing other than, I'm going to feel like this is going to work, therefore I'm going to do it, which most people don't do that anyway. Like, I venture to say, if you take a guy who's like, law of attraction, think and grow rich, and you say, I want you to spend half of your time with the LOA, law of attraction, and half of your time working. And you say, but Marcus is going to go spend all his time working. I'm going to be more successful. I would bank on that because I'm doing the work, right? There you go. I'm working. Yeah, he said he was struggling for 8 months, finally getting his first sales with his high-ticket niche, which is pretty cool. And you start to understand, like, the law of attraction really doesn't have that many benefits, in my opinion. I mean, is it good as far as positive thinking? Yeah, but positive thinking is just that. It's just going to give you positive thinking. Like, I know in recovery circles, they always say, get rid of the stinking thinking. Okay, that's fine. But if I understand chemical dependency the way that I do, and I say I'm not going to go and do this thing that makes me dependent, then I'm going to stay sober. It doesn't matter how I feel, think, whatever. I know that's what's going to happen, so there I go. Law of attraction is more about prepping your mindset before taking action. Why not just take action? Why do you need to prep your mindset? Like, just go do it. Again, ladies and gentlemen, let me point you to the board here. Get over it. Get over yourself. For years, well, let's go there. There we go. Get over yourself. For years, I went to churches. I used to be a preacher years ago. And I saw a lot of people in church that their lives were bad, like they were literally bad people, but they went to church and they felt good about it. Does that mean they're good people because they felt good about it? Right? If I feel good about working, does that mean I get work done? No. It just means I feel good about it. You can feel however you want. I'm not chasing a feeling. I'm chasing reality. What do I want out of life? Do I need to prep my mind? What is it going to prep my mind for? Nothing. I don't need to prep my mind. I just need to go do what I need to do. Right? Like, so many people are looking to feel better before taking action. And for me, I just want to take action. Let's just go do stuff. That's cool. Let's see how it works. Maybe it'll work good. Maybe it won't. I'll learn from it. Moonlight says, I agree. Without the work, you don't get the ideas. Yes, the work gets the ideas. Hands down. I would like to start with affiliate marketing. I have experience with SEO, web design. What would you recommend as the first steps? Watch all my videos. Yeah, I would get a domain and build it up. Affiliate marketing with William. The law of attraction mindset stuff helps some people focus. Sure, if it helps you focus, that's good. I think that's good. But I think again, if you're dealing with info overload, it has to do with making the decision about the direction. Like if you have the direction, like, okay, you get me 50 law of attraction people, and I give half of them a domain name with rankings and a website and a path with offers, and you give the other half just the thinking, the people with the websites are going to do good, even though their thinking might not be on point. So we got to look at that and understand. Life hustles, like being strong mindfully, to that takes time. Not everyone is a champion. Well, I would say that you don't need a strong, come on. You got Britney Spears, you got Taylor Swift, you got the Kardashians, you got reality TV people, you got celebrities that make lots of money, and their mindset, in my opinion, ain't that great. Like I look at Donald Trump, he doesn't really look happy. He looks angry. And I'm like, well, aren't we all here thinking $1 billion would make us happy? But he doesn't seem very happy. You look at the Kardashians and it's like, is that the life I want? Is that a strong mental state? No, they just have money. So if it's money you're after, do the stuff that makes money. If you want a good mindset, I have volumes of books way better than Think and Grow Rich and Mindset and whatever. Study philosophy. Like, you want a good mindset? Listen to Alan Watts. Listen to Ram Dass. Listen to philosophy books from old philosophers. I guarantee you're going to be way stronger mind with that stuff, because law of attraction is about what you want. And like I said in the beginning of this training, Buddha said that the root of suffering is desire. Law of attraction is about desire. It's not about strong mentality, it's about what you desire. And desire is futile. What if you desire, like, I desire a house because I want my kids to be in a nice house. But if I'm desiring it and obsessing over it, that is not healthy. Not at all. If I look at philosophy and I change my life philosophy, trust me on this. Don't listen to Tony Robbins, listen to Jim Rohn. Like, Tony Robbins has some okay stuff, but if you like his stuff, go listen to Richard Bandler and John Grinder, who were the ones who founded what he basically remarketed anyway. Right? And if you learn from these things, everything will start to change. The image on the screen, why did you circle the 566 in red? To get you to click it. That's why I did that. And it worked. Is SEMrush known for being unreliable? Every keyword tool has something unreliable. Not everyone is geared to just do it. They need a few more internal steps. I disagree, William. I think you need to do something small. Take one step. Right? Like with me, I got an electric bike because I wanted to start riding a bike. I got the electric one because I'm like, well, I don't know if I can make it all the way to the office in my current state. So I went a little bit each day. But if I didn't get on the bike, I would never be where I wanted. It's not about mindset. It's about getting on it and go a little bit. Because if you bring your body, your mind will follow. You can't be anxious and run a marathon. You can't have those. How do I get rid of anxiety? Go do physical exercise. You cannot do it. I've done it. I tried when I was first getting sober. I went to the gym. I was anxious. And he was like, work out. And I was like, anxious. He's like, work out harder. Do 10 reps. And I was like, wow, doing the 10 reps. I can't do 10 reps and be anxious at the same time. So it wasn't about mindset. Yet there's volumes of books about anxiety and everything. But there's no book saying, hey, drink a pot of coffee and you get anxious. Right? That's a key. It's discipline, and it's small, little things. Little, tiny things each and every day. Chrissy says, I think sometimes people have certain mental stuff that can be more complicated than just do it. I'm not saying just do it. I'm saying try something small. Try something small. Everyone can do it. We talked earlier. Everyone said if they had $500, they would make 5 videos. Like they said, Marcus, yes, if you said I'd get $500 guaranteed to make 5 videos, I'll make them today. So your problem is not mindset. It's pride over payment. It's about anger management. It is not, I'm telling you, look at this stuff. I have studied this till I'm blue in the face. That's what it's about. That's the mindset. So do you need to get over procrastination mindset? Or do you need to realize I'm going to do this anyway, even though I feel like I'm above it? Right? Because it's like the old story. I don't want to quote that story. How could I do that story in a safe for work way? It was something about people were haggling over price over a certain thing, and the lady was like, $1? What kind of woman do you think I am? And they're like, well, I know what kind you are. Now we're just haggling on price. And that is the mindset thing. We're haggling on price. Because I guarantee if I said I'll give you $10,000, go figure out WordPress, learn to rank on Google, and come back with the product, you would do it. So it is having the right motivator. And the motivator is, if you do something long enough, eventually you'll get where you want to go. And sometimes it'll be even quick. But I don't know. I disagree on the idea that we need this mindset stuff. And it's not just about just do it. It's about start. Get started. Joseph, every successful business has a written plan that is acted upon and adjusted as time goes by. That's high level, but it's where it starts. Exactly. That is the key. That's the myth. Anyone can be a champion. It's a mindset. Not sure what that means. But see, that's the thing too. Like, who needs to be a champion? I just want to get the result I want. That's it. I don't need to be the top earner. I don't need to be famous on Instagram. I just want the type of lifestyle I want, and I want to do something that I enjoy. And when we understand that, it's like, okay, now I just go for what I want. I make it happen. It's not hard to do, right? Let's see here. Mindset over action. I would say action over mindset. Yeah, action over mindset. Because action will change it. Like for me, guys, this is a personal thing to me. When I was trying to get sober, I had a mindset I was trying to work, and it would come and go, and I'd struggle with it. But I could never have the mindset because of what the chemical was doing to my brain. So I was never able to get out of it until I said, I'm not going to drink today and the next day. And it took a year for my mind to get back to normal. It never would have happened if I had waited for the mindset. I had to say, I'm not going to drink today. Wake up the next day, I'm not going to drink today. Next day, not going to do it today. Next day, keep going. If I had said, oh, well, if I think myself so, no, it's not going to happen. I have to bring my body and my mind will follow. And when you say, you know what? Every day for 1 hour, I'm going to make a blog post based on what people search for. Every day for 1 hour. You will get unmotivated, but that doesn't matter. I'm going to do it anyway. I'm going to feel, oh, well, you know, I was sick yesterday. Well, my laptop's still there. Instead of watching reruns of TV, I can make a blog post every single time. And when I set out and I said, I'm going to make 3 videos a week on my channel, it's hard to do. Some days I come in here and I don't want to make a video, but I said I'm going to do 3 a week. That's my personal goal. And I get pretty mad when I don't do 3 a week. And my family knows if he didn't get a video out today, leave him alone because he's going to get a video out. And it changed the course of everything. It tripled my income. Actually, probably more like 5 times my income. Why? Because I was consistent. You know what? Last week's video, Monday's video, Friday's video, they sucked. They didn't do good at all. But what do? I keep going. I look at the stats. I say, what? Did people not click it? If they did click it, did they not watch it? If my blog posts didn't do this, why? That has nothing to do with mindset. Mindset is so overrated, it's not even funny. Like, who cares? Like, I'll bet you guys have better mindset than I do half the time. Probably not. I don't know. Maybe. I worked hard for my mindset, and the way I got it is philosophy, learning. But that's not, there's no correlation. I made money, I made $1 million when I had a bad mindset, and I've made $1 million with a good mindset. And truth be told, with the bad mindset, it was actually easier. Try that on your Law of Attraction book. It was easier with a bad mindset. 2006 was the first year I made $1 million. I didn't have to work at all. I had a terrible mindset. I drank too much. I wasn't an alcoholic yet, but it was terrible. But I made $1 million. It was a bad mindset. You go to Law of Attraction, you're like, that dude sucks. I don't want that mindset. I wasn't happy. Nothing. But I had terrible mindset, made a bunch of money. And it was easy. The money part was easy. Now, it was a little harder. You look at it and, you know, you start to understand it's irrelevant. Like, there are billionaires. I was watching the show Dope Sick. Great show. Made me really, really not respect the people who did what they did. But it's a fantastic show. And I was watching it, and I'm like, wow, that dude, this whole family is miserable. Their mindset is terrible. Their mindset is, we're billionaires, and we're going to unethically, on purpose, ruin people's life to get more billions. I don't care what book you look in. That is a terrible mindset. Yet, they're billionaires. So the correlation is wrong, in my opinion. African Flight Star says, that was unfortunately the biggest lie I was told in grief counseling. Don't worry, you'll know when you're ready to clear out your wife's things. Terrible advice. I waited years to feel ready, and it was a disaster. I finally realized I would never feel good about it. I just had to drop it. After that, I finally started, exactly. You started moving on when you took the action and said, why do you think you feel better when you clean your house? Like, even for me, I'm pretty cluttery. I think I've thrown about 20 books and, a couple $1 million in fake money. But when I clean it up, I feel good. And I'm like, okay, now I feel good about this, right? And you start to look at it, and it's important. Like, what do you mean it destroys the value? Exactly. The gurus preaching value, come on in here. Listen to your old buddy Marcus here for a minute. All right, we're going on 2 hours. Hopefully you guys are digging this stuff. If you are, smash the like button and make sure you subscribe if you haven't. But listen to your old buddy Marcus here. If you ever hear a guru talk about mindset and value, if all they say is mindset and value and they don't really describe what they are, chances are it's a guru that doesn't have the chops to teach what they want, to teach what they know, right? You want a guru that teaches skills. Skills are what is going to pay the bills. If we go out there and we look at it and we're like, oh, well, mindset and value, and they never define it. What does value mean? I had a smiley face website, and I currently have a smiley face website, that the value is click here for a happy face. With every business book out there, they would say, Marcus, you're full of it. That's not value. But it made money. Value is in the eye of the beholder. People who love law of attraction are probably going to find this video very not valuable. There's some in the comments that are like, I don't know if I like this, Marcus. I don't know if I'd agree with you. Right? And we look at it, we're like, wait a minute. So they're preaching value and this and fake it till you make it. I was recently reading a book by a very popular YouTube guru. Very popular. All I got to say is he has lots of muscles. And I read the book, and it was like, well, when we started our business, we sold 4 of our companies for 50 grand. And then the business they started was being an expert in making those businesses. But you sold all 4 businesses for like 60 grand, and now you're an expert on how to make those businesses millionaires? But all 4 of them sold for 60 grand? Something's not adding up. And I started realizing if you listen long enough, you're going to hear the holes in people's stories. And you're going to see when, it's like, I think it was Warren Buffett said, when the tide goes out, that's when you see what everyone's wearing. That's true, right? And you start to realize, and I don't know his whole story, but I read that in the book, and I'm like, that's a total, if that's true, that's a fake it till you make it. Like if I go out there and I'm like, I'm the limo company SEO expert, and all I did was get 1 ranking for 1 guy and he made $4, I'm not the expert. Now, did his other business get successful? Yeah, it did. But was it on the premise of something that might not be true? You be the judge of that. And we start to understand, well, what about this Marcus fella? What's he got? Well, I've been doing this stuff forever. Made some mistakes. I've done some good things. Pretty good at SEO. I'm by far not the expert in SEO. What am I really good at? Pairing keywords with things that sell. That's what I'm good at, right? Have I had sites that have made millions of dollars? Did I make a lot of money before I started teaching? Absolutely, right? And you start to look at that and say, well, I want to look at something with results I can duplicate. I can do. What is it you can do? Focus on what you can do. Very cool. Let's see. Do any of you guys provide services? Is yes, then you probably need a website. Okay, I don't know what that means, but okay. Only action counts. Yeah, just do action. I mean, other stuff counts too. Like I don't want to feel bad and have a bad mindset, but I'm going to get that by taking action. Patty says, oh, she's talking to someone else. Hi, Marcus. Does a Simple Sites course include file organization and naming conventions? I teach file structure of WordPress. I don't know if that's the same thing or not, but yeah. All right, guys. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. Pretty cool. And by the way, one of the other things I learned is not to be picky about where I get my truth, because even that guru I talked about earlier, I get some value from his stuff. His book was actually pretty good. His videos are pretty good, So I'm not going to be picky about where I get my truth. Some of the stuff in Law of Attraction is good. Sure, pretty good. What about energy? If you want energy, eat right. That'll get you good energy. Anything that is useful is value. Computers and phones are very useful, extremely valuable, yeah. All right, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Smash the like button. Check out our links. And we'll see you next time.